Good evening and welcome to episode 43 of the Behind Enemy Lines podcast. We're back for 2018. I am host number 32, Greg.
Hello, it's me, Dan.
No Damo this evening, so we've brought in a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am not Damien.
Well done.
Dave.
So Dave, you were with us for episode, I think, 4?
One of the
Maybe
really low ones.
Yeah, may have been in the original 10.
When we were still in the fish factory.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a interesting podcast experience.
That was a stinky podcast experience.
Yeah, it lingered for many hours afterwards.
Look, everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
Good acoustics, though.
It's good.
Acoustics.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
An old disused fish freezer. It may stink like fish, but it had some good non-reverberations.
So if you're thinking about starting a podcast and you have an old fish factory,
use the freezer.
It's the best place to do it, right? So we haven't gone away on social media. We're still around on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We have the blog, which has had a recent article update. We'll talk about it a little bit more. And we're on YouTube as well. So head on over. We're sitting at 894 subscribers at the moment. We need to crack that magical 1,000 because there's like super prizes that are there. And you may have seen in a post that I put on Facebook that unfortunately the guys from the WWPD have decided to wrap up their operations.
That's right.
They were previously hosting this podcast. They're no longer doing that. We thank them from the bottoms of our cold black hearts for all the help
all
and
the
exposure.
years. How many years have we been
Like
doing this?
3 years. This is the 4th year, I think.
Holy cow.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th year. But for that whole time, they helped us out. They hosted us. So guys, Steve, Luke, John, we really, really thank you for that. A couple of the guys, so Mitch Reed and he's got a few other guys, have carried on the WWPD legacy over on No Dice, No Glory.
Yeah.
So go and check them out on nodicenoglory.com. They've got a new podcast. So the first podcast introduces all the guys, and the second episode, which went live today and I haven't had a chance to listen to, the guys are looking at Avanti, the new release for Flames of War from Battlefront.
Cool.
But of course, before you go and listen to their podcast about Avanti, you should go and read our article about Avanti that's up on our blog, bl.podcast.
Just type in Behind Enemy Lines blogspot.
If you find Luke Wilson, you've gone too far. We're still doing
Owen Wilson.
Luke Wilson.
That's Owen Wilson.
I thought it was Will Smith.
No. He's in that other movie.
You got
Enemy at the Gates.
You
Yeah,
got
that's
Damien
the
to
one.
write that one, right?
Which one?
The Avanti.
No, that was me.
It was you,
I wrote that.
but you're not the resident Italian expert.
Neither's Damien.
I eat a lot of pizza. Does that count? Damo's going to do... So he's gone to Hamilton. He's gone to the Hamilton Zoo.
Yeah, and he's staying the night in Hamilton.
Ooh.
It's like, let's go to the Hamilton Zoo and stay in Hamilton overnight. It'll be a trip. It's like, why?
He's going to get finger syphilis.
He's going to get all sorts of gross
It's going to be
diseases.
disgusting. And I also we needed the article to go live at midnight last night, and I kind of slept in so we could get the scoop on all the other guys.
Get
So
the scoop.
Get a
And we always get the scoop because we're like ahead of the
day
rest of the
ahead.
world.
Yep.
So we're like first. So, that's all they need to know.
all right.
Some of the benefits of living in the, arse end of the world.
Or the front end, because we're ahead.
Okay.
Yeah? Does that work?
I don't know.
So 2018 is going to be a cracker year for wargaming.
Sure as I've decided to buy no more miniatures this year.
You are full of shit.
I am. I'm going to buy heaps.
Yeah.
So
But looking at Dan's stash currently surrounded us, you could probably go a couple of years without buying.
I honestly could. I bought and have so much stuff. It's bad. I need to more organize. I started organizing, but that's life.
There appears to be like a 2-liter jug full of just. I'm not sure if it's Flames of War bits.
It's
or just
Flames of War, but
random metal.
there's another set of jug behind that one as well.
I thought that was just Flash.
No, that's Flames of War, like little men dudes and wheels and spare parts for days, enough 50 cals to sink a battleship kind of thing,
Tell you what, when the apocalypse comes and you need some lead to make some new
Make some lead
ammunition,
bullets.
come around Dan's in West Auckland. And
I got
you'll
plenty
be
of
set.
little leftover bailed out crewmen who can just turn into shot to survive that zombie apocalypse.
Which is never going to happen.
Shoot my neighbours, whatever comes first.
Shoot your neighbours.
Reserve a
Right.
bullet.
So what we'll do is, I think, because there's sort of noob news. We haven't had an episode up for a while. So we'll look at,
we've got a backlog of news which probably isn't new anymore. So it's just stuff you already know. But we got some stuff that's really recent.
Yeah, stuff that's coming up. So let's
So recent.
go through some of our favourites.
Before we do this, also, now gaps between sections, we had ads.
Yes.
We will still be having ads, but I do put a shout out there for if you want an ad, go and contact Greg or I, and we will see if we can't fit you in a slot. That is, so yeah, we like a bit of variety in our ads. So far I've got 2 non-WWPD ads to chuck in there, but
cool.
I'll work on developing more if you need it. But anyway, Greg, carry on with the...
I'll just follow on from that. So if you're not aware, Dan is a trained voice actor.
I truly am.
Absolutely.
That's why I like mumbling.
If you've heard our ad for Battle Kiwi that we've used before, that is Dan's dulcet tones.
It's gonna get updated as well with this microphone because it was done on the Yucky one.
Nice. So contact us probably through the Facebook page. Message us via the Facebook page, and let us know, and we'll come to some kind of terms or whatever else.
Yeah.
So
mostly just want free stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. So I think
that's the entire goal of this podcast.
Oh, totally. It has been from day one.
Yeah,
has been from day
We've
one.
been very honest about that. All we want is free stuff.
Yeah, we've got a bit of it over the course of the 3 or 4 years.
A few things. Yeah,
a couple of things.
Yeah, not
bad. But we will totally shill for you. It's fine. It's absolutely
we will.
fine.
Your product is the best, and your service is immaculate.
Absolutely. Oh, did you see that? Just
at all
rolls off
times.
the tongue. So let's take a look at what we've seen over the last month or so, and what we see coming up from our favourite or the biggest suppliers / gaming companies / war games companies that we have out there. So on my list, I've got to start with Battlefront.
Yes.
Obviously Avanti comes out next month so that's the Italians in mid-war. The review in the book. So looking at the book, you've got a few choices there. You've got tanks, you've got infantry, and you've got a weapons company formation that you can choose, which is sort of a diversified infantry Bersaglieri company as well. So
and you also have the opportunity with and I say Brazilians with Italians to chuck in 688s, plus you can put in a few more. Some of 2090s.
The Lancia.
Lancia
90mm. So you can get your Lancia 90mm on the trucks.
Yeah.
I think you can get...
As well as the 88s?
As well as the 88s.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you still have the unknown douchebag?
No, he's gone.
No. Everyone in their army is an unknown douchebag. They all motivate on a... Is it still a 2+?
No, so the change to the 8mm bayonets rule is... So before you had the table with 6 different options that you could choose from depending on if you're tanks or infantry or the rest of it. Now each Italian card has 2 options. One is the regular troops and one is the elite troops.
Yep.
When you have deployed, but before you take the first turn, you can roll the specialised die that you can get from Battlefront. If you roll the X symbol or whatever it is, then they change to being the elite troops, which could give them a 2+ motivation.
Yeah, 2+.
Otherwise, they're the regular troops, which makes them a 3+ regulation motivation. So I think people forget how good the Italians were in mid-war. Not just in the game, but actually in 1942, they were the creme de la creme. Or was it Rommel that said that I can't remember. There was something that Rommel said that the German soldier is the pinnacle of the world in terms of troops, and the German soldier completely respects the Bersaglieri. As a result, they really did like the Italian troops. So it's looking at the die. There's 2 chances out of 6 to roll the symbol, so 33% chance. If you don't have the special die, you can just roll a d6. They say just roll a d6. If it comes up a 5 or a 6, then you're elite.
I got the word.
I got the quote.
It says the German soldier has impressed the world. However, the Italian Bersaglieri soldier has impressed the German soldier. There you go.
Straight from the Desert Fox himself.
Wow, I don't know. Are all these quotes true? Who knows?
I wasn't there. I can't tell you.
No,
I can't tell you for sure. So, along with the Avanti release, there's a whole heap of updated kits. So, the new M1441 kit is coming out. That has the M1441 hull and gives you the opportunity to build either the M1441 medium tank, or you can build the Semavente. off that. So
because it's a
dual-purpose
a
kit.
full plastic kit as
Yeah,
well.
totally full plastic.
Which is great.
Along with that are new releases for, I think, the Lancia's coming out in plastic with flexible plastic crew.
Nice.
The new 88s are coming out, and you can get Italian crew for those because they're crewed by Italians.
Yeah.
They've reworked or retooled some of the other kits that are out there for the Italians as well. So, some really good releases there.
Sorry. That just gets picked up on all
I know,
mics,
it just gets picked up on my... But look, it didn't make it worse.
I'll chop it out. Maybe.
So the video that came out from Battlefront just prior to Christmas as well. So there's going to be updates to Vietnam and the Arab-Israeli War.
Cool.
Those being done in conjunction with Osprey. Osprey are releasing books as far as I'm aware. And there's been a whole heap of updated release. There will be a whole heap of updated releases for Vietnam.
So that's the Team Yankee-ifying of it, right?
Effectively, yeah. Effectively, that's what it's doing. So card packs will be available for people who already have existing Vietnam armies. You can just buy the card packs and the rules, and then you're updated, ready to go.
So you don't need to worry about having to go rebuy the entire army again.
No,
just
absolutely
buy a card pack. And the Hueys are in plastic now too. If you thinking about starting a air cav army, you've got you got access to a bunch of plastic. I think they're just the regular Hueys though. They're not the hog options.
No, you still got to get your hogs in metal resin.
Yeah, so that'll probably be a bit longer before that gets re-released again.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know if you can still buy it now. I don't know if it's in stock.
They updated the Vietnam Rangers. I believe you can still get them. I've still got a couple that are sitting there new in box.
Oh dear.
I haven't built them, so I'm going to do that because if you ain't cav, you ain't shit.
Fairly unavailable for quite a while. So
yeah, I bought mine in the big sale that Battlefront did about 2 or 3 years ago.
There's nothing in their options to buy them, so
Okay,
they're obviously being
updated.
retooled and updated.
Yeah,
that's cool.
As well as Nam, we'll be getting an updated version of the Arab-Israeli War.
Yeah, that was the first introduction to big high AT versus, your tank gets touched, your tank dies.
Yep.
But it was a weird game to watch. You'd see the Centurions with the big AT-20s versus Israeli Centurions versus Jordanian Centurions.
Yeah.
And they would just be like, the Israelis would have like a handful, and the Jordanians would have something like 10, 15.
Yeah.
But the Israelis would push them back.
Exactly.
Just superior, like they had extra tech, but they just had better skills at not getting shot at and better at shooting.
I think the one I saw was the Israelis rocking around in updated M60s and updated Shermans and the rest of it. But then you've updated Shermans fighting against effectively T-34-85s.
Yeah, I mean, they had those, and that's me too close. Wow, and
kind of weird.
And did we get the Panzer IVs? Are they still in the one in the Duggan bunkers?
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
My
it's so long ago.
For ages. So that'll be interesting. I'm not sure that I'll get too involved in that one. We'll definitely do some reviews when they come out.
We'll cross those bridges when we come to them.
Whether or not we play it. So I predict this year to be a massive Team Yankee year. So Wayne has indicated that the next book that's coming out for Team Yankee is sort of a NATO minor nation compilation. Ooh, see what I did there?
Yes.
So that's got Canadians, Dutch, French, and
Australians. It's got Australians and New Zealand support.
And that's going to be backed up by more plastic releases. So we're going to see a Plastic Leopard 1 coming out. We'll see a whole heap of plastic French tanks coming out. So that's your AMX 30s and the rest of that. So that looks kind of interesting, which is really, really good.
I do have a whole Marine army on order.
Marine for stripes.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for mine as well. Mine's coming through.
I ordered a bunch of Lavs and a bunch of Humvees.
Ooh, nice.
Just because the Humvees and Lavs, they're the counter to the BMP spam.
Oh, totally.
Especially a Lav. The AT-10, ROF 3, and the Humvees will have those sneaky little missiles on them.
So you're doing them as Marines rather than Army?
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Why would I do anything else?
That's what I've got. So I'm still waiting for my Ryans of Leather next box to come through. Once that's through, I'll start painting those up and we'll get some details on the blog and hopefully get some games. And we haven't done a Team Yankee game for the YouTube.
Ever.
We should do that.
We've never done one.
We should do that. Yeah. So moving on from Battlefront, we'll have a look at Games Workshop, who are friends of ours now because we love all their stuff.
Well,
sort of.
they sold us one box set and there were a set of rules that weren't retarded, so they're doing okay.
They're doing all
They're
right.
doing okay.
They're doing all right. So before Christmas releases, we had the Blood Angels Codex and the Dark Angels Codex.
We did.
We also... Was there any other codex before Christmas? I think that was it.
Tyrannids came out.
Oh, yeah, you had that.
That's quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Ages.
I don't know. It all blurs together now.
And then the latest releases that we have seen that will be coming out is the Adeptus Custodes
Custodes.
and the...
Thousand Suns.
Thousand Suns. Yeah, that's
And that upset, the Custodes upset so many people because the little quote's like, we've waited for so long, and Damien's like, ooh, Necrons, robots.
Yeah.
And it's like, no,
right. Nah.
no, glorified, like, janitors.
Sigmarites.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sigmarites is what they are.
Well, they're Custodes, they're part Emperor.
I saw a post on Facebook where 2018 is the year of GW screwing over the Xenos players again.
Well, just looking at it, because I got a sneaky release calendar here, which may be probably
That is
fake.
bullshit. I've seen that. I don't believe it.
Don't you believe it? So, like, February is like the Battle Tome Death, whatever that means.
That's for Sigma.
Custodes, Thousand Suns dudes.
Yeah.
Warhammer Underworld Warband release. I don't know what that is. It's like that's a Warhammer game.
Okay.
What do you call it? Like an Age of
Like
Sigmar
Warhammer
thing?
Quest.
Shadespire.
Shadespire, that's it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You got another Necromunda gang and book. That'll be, what's his face?
Delac?
No, it's
Orlox.
Orlox. The ones that are supposed to wear cool headbands, but when they showed the video, like, two dudes had a headband. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. March.
Sly Marbo in there.
What a waste of money that is. A stupid resin model.
I haven't got one.
Neither do I. I'm not going to buy one. You can only use them in the match points or not match points. What's the other one called? What's the other style of play? Open play. Open play, and he's
and he can only be Ketachan.
Yeah. Well, that's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But March, you got some Necromunda Tales, Tau Codex, the Necron Codex, so that'll be Damien happy. Blood Bowl release. I don't know what they're releasing for that. A new season?
Maybe a new season. We haven't seen necromantic teams come out yet.
Yeah.
So the latest team that was released for Blood Bowl was the Elves. So the Elves have come out. So next could be necromantic. It could be something else. I don't know.
Yeah. April, you're looking at Harlequins and Drukhari release. May.
That will be cool.
May is another box set game of some kind.
Adeptus Titanicus.
Oh, that'd be great. May is your Codex Space Wolves, and into April, May, early June is a big release for Elves, but that's AELF, so I'm assuming that's Age of Sigmar.
Okay.
In June, you're looking at Codex Orcs. Orcs always last.
I always forget about Orcs.
Everyone does until they hit Yellow Front Lines.
Yeah.
And a couple of campaign boxes and books for 40k there.
Just going back to Battlefront, one other thing.
Go.
They've got organised play kits coming out for Flames of War in February.
Nice.
As well. So I'm quite interested to get a hold of one of those and probably run it at a club and see how we go with that. So
is that kind of like the... what do you call it? The... Oh my god, my brain...
Tanks?
The Firestorm?
Not sure.
Not sure.
Haven't seen it yet. Once I know, I'll let you know.
No, I do still have a Red Thunder kit.
Oh, do
In the
you?
cupboard at work, yeah.
Ooh. We should get that out and play that.
Play it.
Yeah. So my Team Yankee army can actually get on the table.
I still got to paint mine. I made the terrible mistake of... What's it? Putting squares on all my British stuff.
Oh, yeah. Berlin
And
Brigade.
it's like Berlin Brigade is like, I've done one so far and drawn up the squares for the others, and then found that there's no easy way about it.
Yeah, digital camo is bad enough at 28mm, let alone 15.
Yeah.
It's not even
Too
digital
late.
camera, it's just their own camo.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's just all squares so that... What they have it for? Oh, so that it was all exactly the same.
Yeah.
So that the Russians couldn't tell how many were in their brigade, as it were.
Yeah.
But then they all had individual number plates, so,
So you could see them from a mile away anyway.
So you could tell how many there were just by counting and seeing
Ridiculous.
different number plates.
So anyway, go back to Games Workshop. I think it's going to be another bumpy year for them.
It's always bumpy years.
Well,
for them.
yeah, but like last year was just ridiculous. They must have just
That was because of Dark Imperium.
absolutely.
That brought back everyone who bought 3rd edition in 1998.
Yep. Brought me back.
Yeah, that was the biggest release on the hobby side of things for a long time for any company and any system. Not like even if you start talking about things like Magic and other trading cards and stuff like that, that 830 40k just blew everything out of the water.
Yeah.
It was massive.
That doesn't surprise me. It doesn't. So I mean, they put a heap of marketing bucks behind it. They completely retooled their marketing structure and the marketing plan about how they do things.
They went to YouTubers and
Yep.
influencers. Oh, it's my fancy word.
Well, it's so woke.
And they and they got them to play games with it and use it and
Yep.
paint it instead of doing the normal Games Workshop. We keep all our marketing in house. We only talk to ourselves, and you'll
Yep.
get it on release like everybody else.
Yeah, one of the things which was the most different about it was the fact that it was a month before pre-orders went up that they announced when it was going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So normally stores know what the new release is. We'll get confirmed details on the Monday, and pre-orders go up on the Saturday. So
Right.
you got a very limited window. This one there was a month to sort of build up hype before pre-orders opened, and then there was 2 weeks for your pre-order window.
Yeah. The
Didn't-
hype was
didn't
unbelievable.
quite work because they kind of ran out of stock.
Well,
Well,
that's the hype.
on the Monday after pre-orders went up.
Yeah.
So despite the fact that they said, "Oh, you can top them up," yeah, they didn't have anything left.
Can't top them up.
You
There's
guys
nothing
must have. So Games Workshop ran out.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that's really
if
that's really good.
Yeah, Australia completely ran out, and then it only took them about another week, 2 weeks after release that the next drop arrived. So it didn't take too long.
And it's all high quality in that box too. It was like the first thing that drew me to it was like a hardcover rulebook. I was like, oh hello. Even 3rd edition was a soft cover.
yeah, it's the
rulebook.
first time they've done that.
Yeah, it's like here's the rulebook in the box. If you want to buy it by itself, it's what was $80.
Yeah.
And the box itself, what was the box? Was it like 160 or 100?
Yeah,
200?
$160.
I can't remember what you guys retailed it at.
169.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head now.
Yeah.
All I know is we got 2,
Yeah,
Sure did.
and they arrived on the Saturday because you guys did free Saturday shipping.
yeah,
Sure
we
did.
Saturdays.
And
for
we played a
everybody.
game of 8th edition that night.
Yeah.
I mean,
Addicted much?
so good.
So you go back on our old podcast and you see us slagging off Games Workshop building a terrible game, but
Now we love them. Send
Well-
us free stuff.
I wish. Their stuff's still killer expensive in this country, but there are ways and means around it.
Yeah, I think it's becoming easier to get a hold of, and it's becoming easier to get a hold of at not Games Workshop store pricing. Like, obviously, Mighty 8 does it at a fantastic discount compared to G-Dub, which must mean that there's
And
fuck all margin
I
in it.
don't have to leave my house.
But this is true.
Like if I was to, hey kitty, get off that.
Right.
If I was to go to a Games Workshop, I'd have to trek out to Mount Albert, hope that it's not closed because it's a one-man store.
Find parking unless you've taken the train. You take the train, you're right. You just get off at Mount Albert train station, walk
Yeah,
around
walk
the corner.
across the little bridge they made.
Yeah. But otherwise, you're going to find parking in there.
And you have to pay full price. So yeah.
And you have to pay full
And they
price.
might not have stuff you want.
Yeah. So
Whereas
then
Mighty Ape just shows me on the website, I've got stuff.
Does Amazon sell Games Workshop stuff?
Yeah.
There's some third party resellers who put it on Amazon. And
Okay.
It's not supposed to, but there are some.
Right.
Obviously, there's a lot of it on eBay as well.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
The other new Games Workshop stuff, tomorrow is the release of the Chaos Demons Codex.
Oh yeah,
Of
those
course.
guys.
And the first wave of the new Nurgle models, so the new Great Unclean one and some
Oh, I saw that.
Did
some
you
Plague
see-
Bearer playing the bagpipes.
Did you see the size comparison
He's huge.
from the old Great Unclean one compared to the new one? So the old one is like this big, right?
Okay,
And
great.
you can't-
So
yeah,
this
this-
is radio. So
it doesn't work for
it's,
radio.
Think of a really large Granny Smith apple,
Or
Yeah.
like it's the size of a softball,
a softball. Okay,
right?
But
And the new one is the size of a small soccer
a
ball.
child's soccer ball.
It's
or basketball.
ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
And the detail on that model is gorgeous.
It is.
Doesn't make me want to play demons.
Well, I looked at and don't.
Here we go.
and
Oh,
don't
you've
put-
got Plague Marines.
Oh yeah, I do.
You've
too.
got Death Guard. You need one.
Oh cool, I can. Oh, winning. Nice. Right, cat, get off the microphone. Sorry, I had to bring a cat with me because the cat was upsetting the dogs, and I've lost my microphone. Oh no.
Dan's
guys keep talking.
Dan's boom arm is gone.
What the hell did I
So,
do?
I think the one thing that I guess I want to see this year from Games Workshop is Adeptus Titanicus. I really want to see it.
Yeah, well, James Hewitt from who is ex-Mantic and then had been working for Specialist Games.
Yeah.
He wrote the rules for Betrayal at Calth.
All right.
Yes, there were actually rules in that box, not just pre-Heresy Space Marines, which is
What were the rules for?
it's a board game.
Oh, it's a board game. Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's a weird board
Standalone
game.
board game, but everyone just bought it for the sprues and threw
Yeah,
it
they're like
components.
cool, sweet new plastic third Mark
III?
III Iron Armor
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space Marines. I'll take that.
So he did an AMA on Reddit after he left Games Workshop to start freelancing for himself, and he went through a lot of the background for Adeptus Titanicus and stuff, and the reason why it got delayed. Basically, they were initially planning it as a very boutique resin Forge World release,
Right.
and then lots of people said that they wanted it, so they decided
So
to
it's-
change things to plastic, and it took them a long time to redesign the sculpts. for
Because you
plastic
got to tool it for your plastic injection molding machines, and you got to
Sure.
make it. What's the scale on? Is it 6 mil?
It's going to be 8.
8 mil. So it's
Yeah.
like wood should be probably tool anyway because it looks slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Well, it sort of puts it to true scale with the 32mm stuff now as well. So
Yeah.
you go down to 8mm. It's
The what was the cool thing? Like I'd really like them to do a proper scaled Imperator in Epic, because that one there is supposed to be about an Imperator. If I forgot the measurements right, it's the same size as the Statue of Liberty,
Yep.
if not a bit bigger. But they've scaled it right down for the old version. Obviously, it was a board game designed
Yes.
in the 90s, so you didn't have options into upscale and get everything 100% correct.
yeah.
But I
Everyone
really
does that.
hope they make it all plastic and what's the word?
Soon.
Soon. That's good. And they make it so it's easy to paint. If that happens and if that's the announcement, I'm just going to sell all my old Epic stuff.
All of it.
All of it. I'm gonna ditch and just brand new. And I hope that it goes beyond just Titans.
Well, that's
The original one did that.
yeah. Well,
They
that's,
had Adeptus Titanicus and then they had Space Marine.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly what it did.
But as long as they do and support the full range like they do with Blood Bowl still, and hopefully with Necromunda, it will take us back to our golden age of gaming.
Now that we've got all the money that we can afford all of it.
Yeah.
Didn't have all the money in the 90s, did we?
No.
Bastards.
We had to proxy like crazy.
I remember saving up for an entire term of mowing lawns to buy a Lizardman Slan.
Wow.
I chose my army poorly because I think back in that day, even still, they were $70 or $80 for the metal blister,
Yeah.
Man.
which was a lot of money in 1990s dollars.
Totally.
Oh, 1990s does. I remember I had my first job working in a factory, part-time during school, and I spent all the money I earned there on a Blood Angels army. Got one of the original Ferruccio metal dreadnoughts.
Nice.
Oh, it was great. Got immobilized like every single game and just sat there, couldn't do anything because they had 2 power fists and a melter gun.
Yep.
12
Oh,
inches
good.
range.
Yeah, so nobody's coming near it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just walk around. It's like, later, bro. It's like, great game.
And so the other new thing from Forge World, I think it was just in the last week or 2 weeks, was the new rules for Horus Heresy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it's
All
the Dark Ages something. I can't remember the name of the book, but that's their updated 7th edition rules for Horus Heresy, which
Kitty, don't shoot a microphone.
some people are saying is great. I think it's still the biggest misstep they've done recently in
Really?
terms of keeping Horus Heresy in 7th. They should have updated it to 8th at the same time as everything
See,
else.
I've got other people telling me because it's not as broken as the old Codex way that 7th works for that.
That's what I've heard as well. Yeah, I think we're talking to the same people because I was in the same conversation. So,
Oh, okay.
and look, I haven't played 30k, so I don't know. But I'm sort of 50-50 on this. If it works in 7th edition and people are happy playing it, I don't see why not. But I can see what you're saying, because if they update it to 8th edition, all of a sudden you've got 8th edition players who probably don't play Heresy because it's still in 7th edition, who may then look at getting a Heresy army.
Yeah, or people like myself, where I've got a full Heresy army. I started working that and pretty much had it finished before the Heresy rules came out in the first place.
Yeah.
But there's no way I want to go learn 7th edition rules, which I skipped because I didn't like them, and I didn't
ridiculous.
particularly like 6th either. So there's no way I'm going back to that style of game just to run my World Eaters as World Eaters.
Yeah.
There's no interest in there for me.
And we were talking because there's certain, or there's a whole heap of weapons that are available in the Heresy that you can't get
Yeah.
in the 40k
Oh,
world.
so many
they're not
extra
in the-
phaser blaster things there.
Yeah,
That's a crazy time.
And I mean, you are dealing with a system which is a bit more enclosed in terms of what units and things are available. Like, there's heaps of different options, but it all comes down to the Marines
Right.
and Terminators and some big crazy Marine tanks and stuff.
Yeah, there's not that much. What
There's
can
no
you run in
Xenos,
the
is there?
Heresy? There's some Xenos, right? Or is there no Xenos out?
There's no Xenos for it.
because it's Horus Heresy.
So it's Mechanicum, it's
Imperial
Astartes,
Army. And,
Heretic Astartes.
Yeah. I mean, if they wanted to, they could add orcs and elves
Yeah.
because they were there. No Tyranids,
And
No,
it
does.
does seem to be dragging out a long time now. You look at the Black Library series. I think they're up to They must be getting close to book 50 in that now.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And there's some solid books in there, but I think people were really interested a few years ago, but now just
They're like, hurry up, get to Earth, Horus, and just slay that
we
emperor.
kind of just want to
is
see
it-
what we know happens, and
Have they not even done the Book of Horus getting to
they're
the
nowhere,
Golden Palace?
they're nowhere near it.
Nowhere near.
Oh my god!
They're still busy like
They're still introducing
plotting and
legions.
scheming and getting up to no good.
Who do we think the two missing Astartes legions are? There's been speculation that we're going to find out.
They're gonna tell us what in the Horus Heresy, or they're gonna tell us in the game world.
Either.
If they tell us in a novel, that means that's gonna be one of their best-selling novels because it reveals the big truth.
They've alluded to the fact that, well, not the fact, but there's rumours in some of the Horus Heresy novels that the survivors from those legions
Shush.
got mixed in with the Ultramarines, and that's why there's so many of them, at least until the World
So many blue guys.
kick their ass.
Speaking
So- Oh,
of
hey.
speaking of
soon?
betrayal at Calth, have you guys seen that video? That fan video?
No.
I can't remember what it's called.
Send the link.
Oh, but it's the one where it's done all CGI and some dude did. It's on Calth. It's the word bearers and your blue dudes, blue white guys,
World Eaters.
world
Eaters.
eaters, and they're just going at it with Ultramarines. They're chasing down civilians at the start,
Nice.
you know. And
Send the link.
you fucking
Not
useless.
now. Do it later.
Okay, it's really cool though.
All right.
I'll show
take
you
your word
after.
for it. Yeah,
Anyway.
let's have a look after.
More
Oh,
news.
Yeah,
More
let's
news.
move on to Warlords. So Bolt Action's going to be a big release this year.
Yep. So there's quite a lot coming from Warlord just in the next couple of months. So before we get to the next Bold Action release coming up next week, on the 20th is Gangs of Rome.
Oh yeah.
Isn't one of Warlord's systems, but they are the distributor for it. Can't remember the name of the guys who've actually done it. Which is kind of it's an interesting skirmish system. You sort of have a dominus of your gang,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of gangers who come in a blister, but it's randomized skills and random cards and stuff for them.
Ooh.
So you basically buy a blister with a dude, and you don't know what dude you're getting.
Oh, so
It's
it's
just-
like a blind buy.
Yeah, well, you know what the model. You wouldn't know what the miniature looks like, but you don't actually know
So
what the
every
stats and stuff's
every
gonna
card
be.
is different inside the.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
yeah,
that's cool.
That's really cool.
yeah.
That's really annoying and really cool. At the same time you could be buying the best ganger there is, or not.
Or you might just get an absolute pleb. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's super cool. I
That's
like that.
awesome.
so yeah, that's
I
looks
like
cool.
that aspect of random.
Yeah, another sort of low model count skirmish system with. I believe there's a campaign system and stuff to go behind it, so you
Nice.
can level up your dudes and they can get better at it and stuff like.
So
I
many.
do like campaign games that make your dudes better.
Oh, totally.
That's always been my thing.
Yeah.
Ever since Necromunda.
Well, the TNT that we've just played over the last few, couple of weeks at your place, Dave,
Yep.
has just been reignited my passion for that. So,
Yep. But the first big one on the Bold Action side of things is the new Market Garden campaign book. It's due out on February the 10th.
very cool.
And with that is coming along a whole set of new releases for US and British Airborne.
plastic.
No, US Airborne Plastic's already
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Probably yes to Brit Plastics. I need to check
Okay.
my release schedule and I don't have it in front of me now.
Nice.
But there's a whole lot of, I know there's hand carts for both of them.
Of course.
And,
Awesome.
and
Those
new
hand
new
carts.
weapons teams and stuff like that. Some of the
Get a dice to the hand, the weapon, the handcart team moves forward. Sweet.
there's
John
some
Wayne on the cart.
no, but there's some nods to the A Bridge Too Far movie in terms of the sculpting of the
Umbrella guy.
of the characters and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Umbrella Guy is there. There will be
Sean Connery guy.
Sean Connery wasn't the umbrella guy.
No, he
Who's
was
the other guy?
He was
the
Roy
other guy.
Urquhart.
Yeah. And then Polish Gene Hackman.
Sosobolski.
We're the Germans. We're the Germans.
yeah. So that's coming out on the 10th.
Cool.
And then in March, April is coming Blood Red Skies. So that's their 1 200 scale It's the same as what Wings of War and Wings of Glory is.
World War One or
World War Two.
oh, cool.
We talked about this before.
Sky
Did we-
Planes.
I didn't listen to you.
So that was originally supposed to release this month.
See,
but
Dave's
they
got a
had some
really good
production
release
delays.
schedule. He knows what's happening
Yeah, it's almost as if I have to do this
for
professionally.
a job.
Yeah.
So much better than Damien. He was like, "I just come here because I
Damien
get away
who?
from the wife and kids."
Who's Damien?
I don't know. Some guy at a zoo.
So yeah, so that's plane battles.
Yep.
I will be looking into it a bit more as we get closer to release in terms of how the mechanics of the game work and stuff like that. There's some advantage disadvantage system to account for the fact when you have more altitude in the Allegone, you can
Zimmerman.
Come down.
when you dive from out of the sun or whatnot.
Yeah, that did look really, really cool. I did have that pre-ordered, but I've cancelled my pre-order, mainly because of Fantasy Flight Games, the bastards.
Why?
Star Wars Legion.
Oh yeah, that's coming out.
We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
Oh.
So the last thing on the sort of immediate horizon from Warlord is new stuff for Hail Caesar. So they've got the Shield Wall book coming out, which is the first of their Dark Ages saga books.
Yep.
So that covers Vikings and Saxons. Now that will probably be the release of the re-release of the old War Games Factory Vikings and Saxons, which have been out of the market for a long time.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So
Did I also see that there's a new Spartan Starter Army box coming out for Hail Caesar?
Yep. There's new Greek models and starter army and new Spartans as well, and there's a new starter set for Hail Caesar as well, the Invasion of Britain.
Cool. Okay.
So,
Nice.
The new Spartan Army looks interesting just because we're now starting to look at doing ancient. There's a lot of us doing
Who's doing
Ancients
ancients?
at the club.
Don't do
Well,
ancients.
66% of this fucking room, mate,
Oh.
Yep.
and that 33%.
I've got it
yeah.
in 15, but it's
So?
not ancients. It's medieval.
So?
But you know,
Nobody cares.
yeah.
it was for fog. Remember fog? That was
Yep.
cool.
To be honest, you could probably use it and then test us.
Oh yeah,
The
absolutely.
list
Yeah,
would
you
go
can
all the way through to it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they go all the way, all the way. Okay, so that's Warlord. Who else have we got? Mantic.
Mantic
Yep.
got a board game coming out.
They sure do.
Kickstarting it.
They are. The
Hellboy.
Kickstarter is due in. I want to say
April.
it's April. I thought it was
April.
May. All right. Okay. So Hellboy is coming out. I haven't seen too much on that. We just know that it's coming. So we'll see whether or not we back that.
We'll see whether it's based on the graphic novel, which it probably is because that's cheaper to get than the movies.
It is 100% based on the novels.
Oh, there we go. So
Yeah,
it'll be
perfect.
shush kitty, and it'll be good based on that because the movies and TV series are just too expensive to base shit off. Because they'll want like big time licenses where you can just go to the comic books and like, hello, I would like to pay half or less.
Yeah, and you've got a lot more depth of material with the comics as well, which
Yep.
is what you need really for that sort of board game, and there'll be no doubt several waves of expansions and stuff like that. So just be interesting to see which style of game they go. If they go for sort of a boost expansion style like Walking Dead, or if they go a more sort of story style like Star Saga, for instance. So.
Could go with. I mean, Mantic does it either way, right? So
Yeah.
just don't know until we get there.
Yeah, exactly. On the Kings of War front, they've got a couple of new releases dropping this month. They've got the new Clash of Kings organised playbook,
The 2018 one, yeah.
the 2018 one, which will change the meta up a little bit.
Any major changes in there that we know of?
The few got spoiled with a bit of a brouhaha just before
yeah.
Christmas.
Oh, really?
Someone spoiled the lot.
Yeah, so there was a tournament in the States who was going to be using some of the rules changes.
Right.
And accidentally or unintentionally released them further than they should have been.
Whoops.
But also coming along with that is a new set of tactics deck, which kind of think like the 40k open war deck. So it's a way to change up your games with. I think there's a tactic, there's different objectives, and there's some twists or bonuses which can be positives and negatives.
Okay.
So it's that style just to
Strategy cards.
Yeah, to change things up a little bit and make the game more interesting.
I'm going to sell my dwarves this year. I'm going to sell them. And I'm going to buy another Kings of War army, something different.
Would you like Abyssal Dwarfs?
Maybe.
I have a box behind me.
I'll have a look at it.
No, they're just dwarves with different hats.
Oh, then I don't know.
They're,
I'm
li-
not
they're
interested in
literally
painting my
they're
dwarves.
literally the same dwarves. They just have a mask that goes over their
resin
face.
hat, yeah.
All right,
It's not
I'm-
resin. It's metal.
I'm not.
It's metal. You super glue it to the head, and like now he's evil because he's got spikes.
I might have a look at elves.
Ugh.
I like elves.
Of course you do.
Mostly because Damo doesn't like them.
Well, maybe one to look at later in the year when the Northern Alliance stuff for Vanguard starts coming out,
Cool. Okay.
which is kind of ice/sea elves,
Now you're
Ice
talking.
elves.
frozen naiads.
Frozen
Yeah,
naiads.
they've been in the cold weather too long. And they've gone all icy.
Frozen their naiads.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Frozen their naiads off. Nice. I like
The other new thing from them, if you're a Kickstarter backer for Dreadball 2,
Mm.
that is shipping. And
Oh,
people
wow.
are already getting their stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's-
So that was several Kickstarters ago, and it could have went off the radar for quite a long time because they originally planned it as just like a little bit of an update and some new teams, and then they realised that the previous version of Dreadball had I think they're up to like 18 different teams, and
Yeah.
Whoa.
the balance was completely screwed across the whole thing. So
Yep.
they kind of went, yeah, we need to do a full reset of this.
Yeah, so it's a full second edition now, isn't it?
Yeah, full second edition. The main rulebook has got sort of legacy rules, kind of like Blood Bowl, for all the teams which existed,
Yep.
and then introducing new teams as well. But
Nice.
everything should be back on a more even keel as far as that goes. So
Another game I've got that I don't play.
Same.
Dreadball.
We've got a custom board.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
too.
yeah, the TCAL board.
Yep. Stays
Oh,
in its
yeah.
plastic bag somewhere.
I've played 2 or 3 games. It's a lot of
Yeah, I've
fun.
had a couple. It is a good game.
I
Need to
do,
play
have,
more.
I do have a dwarf team somewhere.
Dwarves.
Yeah, like
Oh, Forge Fathers. Or whatever
Forge
the fuck
Fathers,
they
whatever
are,
they're called, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What else is on? What else have we got on the list? Semantic
Star
we've done.
Wars.
Oh my god.
Legion.
Star Wars Legion. Please, we'll march. Get here already.
It looks expensive, and I imagine it will be expensive.
And it may not be much. It's they've said first quarter. Being Fantasy Flight, your schedule of releases is quite dependent on when stock gets from China to the States.
Sure.
So quite often,
When does China have that holiday thing where they just have 4 days off, whatever it's called?
Chinese New Year.
Yeah, Chinese New Year.
That's the one.
Yeah, so that comes up in February.
Yeah, something
I
like
want to say I should know this.
Yeah.
My wife's not going over there this year for Chinese New Year,
that.
so
Ah, let's go to
um,
Sky City. That's where it all happens anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be some stage up until March. It may be a case of it's like surprise, it's releasing today.
Oh, really?
That's
Can
happened.
you let me know a day before that so I get my credit card prepared?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has happened to us with X-Wing and Armada releases
okay.
in the past. That stock's been sitting in New Zealand for a month, and then it's like surprise, it's releasing this week.
Wow.
Nice.
I do have it pre-ordered, so I'm all right.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another one that. So I've pre-ordered a base box, and Monkey's pre-ordered a base box, and we're going to swap. So he's going to do the Imperials. I'm going to do the Rebels, and I think I've got a T-47.
I think I'm
Ordered as
just
well.
going to, when it comes out, I'm just going to buy bits.
Okay.
And when I mean bits, I mean like Snow Troopers and AT, ST Walkers and Darth Vader, because he looks cool.
He comes in the box.
Yeah, but I just don't want to waste money on a box.
Okay.
Because I just want to scam
But
it.
you-
I'm going to do the Damien technique and just get someone else to
Monkey's going to end up with 2 Vaders.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go. Sorted.
but you will need the being a Fantasy Flight game.
You'll need cards and
It's
dials and
got
whatnot.
dials and widgets
No,
and
of
stuff.
course it
Which
is.
yeah.
Of course you need all the widgets, don't you, kid?
I've seen. So I saw there's a playthrough. I think from either Gen Con or Adepticon, one or
Yeah.
the other. So there's a playthrough video on. I think it was Team Covenant.
Yep.
Did it on YouTube, and it does look like a really really cool game. A little bit disappointed that the scale's not the same as
Imperial
Imperial
Assault.
Assault. A lot of people are.
Well, that's
but
how you sell minis.
That's how you sell miniatures.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a genius move.
It's very good.
So
So
with the same scale as Malifaux without the 10,000 pieces per miniature. It's good.
so new from Steamforged. Anything from Steamforged for Guild Ball this year?
Steamforge. I'm just trying to remember from SteamCon. They're introducing minor guilds. So from what I remember correctly, I'm not a hardcore Guild Ball fan. I do love the game. I just don't keep up with it. Is that the Union, which was sort of your hired swords, effectively that you could add, are kind of getting phased out,
Oh, okay.
and getting replaced by these minor guilds, which the main guilds can have a couple of players from one of the minor ones. So
Okay.
the first one they announced is the Ratcatchers Guild, which is a
Nice.
minor guild for the Morticians, if I recall.
Okay.
Then also due out relatively soon will be the second box set for the Farmers.
Yeah.
and the second box set for the blacksmiths.
Cool.
Those are the next two sort of off the bat. The other one or big thing which they're talking about is redoing the original, I want to say 6 guilds, into plastics.
That's right.
So into the one-piece plastics because
Yeah.
they're shifting from that sort of high-end miniatures game to being more of a sort of a board game style.
Okay.
So for their board game players,
That'd be
they
good
need-
because I've put together some Guild Ball stuff, and they are not what's the word, fun with their pinning points.
Yeah, I've got a
Especially for
Fishman
playable
guild and
figures.
Angel her trident. The connection point's only about 1 or 2 millimeters wide, and so
sod
you,
that.
you look at it sideways and it falls off.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had one that lost all detail on it as you went underneath it, and then it kind of went a bit weirder.
I love
and
the
fell apart.
The single plastic stuff, like the stuff I got in the cook-off box here.
Yep.
It's brilliant. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and that's what people's feedback from that was, and from the farmers and blacksmiths as well. Those two new guilds is coming in that plastic, and you can play for it straight out of the box, and they paint up quite nicely, and yeah, that's definitely the smart way to go for them.
Well, it means they can make more for less and get it out there if people want it.
Yeah,
And you're not losing any detail from it. Why would you even bother having a second range in resin and or metal?
yeah, because they did used to do resin versions of the plastics of the metals as well.
Right.
So they had metal and
They had
resin.
one of each.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So they've changed their way on that. The price point of the plastic teams is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
They're a $75 team box for 6 models.
Nice.
Great. It's really, really good. And that keeps it right up there with competing with the likes of Blood Bowl and now Dread Ball as well, if that starts to get a bit more traction worldwide.
Yep.
And I think the other big thing in the
Fallout.
near
the
future
board
is Fallout.
game.
Yep,
I'm not
yep.
interested.
You don't like Fallout, eh? You're a bit of a hater.
Oh, I'm not a hater. I just because I'm not a computer gamer, so I never got.
You don't want to set the world on fire?
I can go outside and set the world on fire.
Yeah.
So-
Don't do that at home though. It's frowned upon, especially in summer. It's
I
You don't want to
set my
start a
home
fire,
on fire.
deep down?
set the world on fire.
No.
Well, we didn't start the fire. It was
Oh no!
always
Don't
burnt.
do some rubbish midnight oil crap.
It was. That's Billy Joel.
Is it? I don't know.
We didn't start the fire. Never mind.
Oh, that's the Beds of
You're
Burning.
thinking Beds of Burning, yeah.
Ah, it's all the same. Save the Eskimos or whatever. Yeah.
So the retail release for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. It's not Fallout the board game. That's
Sorry.
already out. That's Fantasy Flight's one. But Wasteland Warfare from Modifus is due for retail in May.
Okay.
With then additional waves coming.
Is
in
that the one
June,
everyone is
July.
just using for the post-apocalyptic figures in the power armor?
There are people who will just be picking up for that.
Yeah.
But the development blog has got some really cool info in terms of how the game works and the mechanics and stuff which it uses.
Okay.
So it's based on the special stats
Nice.
from the game. So special is
Strength,
an
perception, endurance. I is next, right?
intelligence.
Intelligence, charisma, agility,
It's
and then
D&D.
luck.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Special.
So and then different types of models use those stats for different things. So I think the super mutants use strength as their wounds, whereas the survivors use agility as their wounds and so forth.
Oh, okay.
The cool thing about it is you've got rules in there for solo play, so you can make your own warband and then go off and have AI cards, which you kind of fight against super mutants and other enemy bosses and stuff like that. Everything from the games, it's set in Fallout 4 at the moment. That's the IP that they're working on.
Fallout 4.
But the other ones may come down the track.
I would imagine that it would be dependent on the release success of this one. Then,
Yeah.
if they can continue the
Yeah.
license, who makes the computer game? Bethesda or
It's Bethesda,
Bethesda,
yeah.
yeah.
And then Fallout New Vegas was someone else.
Someone slightly better than the Fallout 4 guys. Fallout 4 was a nice... It looked pretty.
Yeah.
Fallout New Vegas, though, had substance to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Like,
so good.
You could make... You made your own different kinds of bullets to different kind of things to creatures. I found out
Oh
that...
wow.
Yeah, it took a while to figure out that... what are death
Claws.
Death claws don't like armor-piercing bullets. It makes them very dead very quick.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I play Fallout on my Mac?
You can't play anything on your Mac. You can probably play Team Fortress 2 and that's about it.
You could probably play Fallout 1 or 2.
Yeah, you probably
They
could.
were isometric role-playing games.
So Fallout 2 was very good.
Yeah.
You go into New Reno.
New Reno.
And it was cool because had very adult themes too, so they weren't for kids.
Yep.
You know, you could apply to go be a porn star, and you know, when you're like a 11, 10, 12-year-old boy and you're playing the game and you want to be a porn star, and all of a sudden the guy's like, grease the you know the thingy. Grease the pole, and like there's like a kid. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? And you come, and then the screen goes black, and then you pop out, and your character's poisoned. Like you take some poison damage,
Right.
And I was like, what's happening here? I just want to be a porn star, and you keep trying it, and you keep getting poisoned, and then as you get a bit older, you're like, oh, I was sucking that dude's dick. Yeah, gross. So yeah, Fallout 2, worth it.
Yeah, I might just
Skip that one.
stick to Flames of War. Thanks.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
cool.
enough.
Yep.
So that's that's all I had on my list for things to look forward to in the new year, and some stuff that we missed towards the end of last year. So it's probably a good spot to either put some blank space because we don't have any
Blank space.
advertisers,
Sad.
or we'll put an advertiser in.
Yes.
So we'll be back in a moment with another part.
Need tokens, terrain, or custom Battlefield accessories? BattleKiwi.com has you covered. With a wide range of high-quality laser-cut MDF and acrylic, it has something to suit everyone's wargaming needs. From the far future of Infinity to the battlefields of World War II, BattleKiwi.com has you covered. Visit BattleKiwi.com today, and for a 5% discount, enter the code BEL5.
Welcome to part 2 of the Behind Enemy Lines podcast, and this is our 43rd podcast.
Check 44th. Remember we had the lost episode.
Technically, sort of.
Can't find. Still
I
gone. It was
lost
a
it.
fucking good episode too.
It was the best episode. We revealed everything, but every other episode after that is just a tribute.
Apparently, we got to believe him.
I don't believe him. I don't
You
believe him.
gotta.
I wish I was there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It didn't sound anything like this podcast,
No, absolutely not.
but,
Fuck's sake.
you know.
Yeah, all right. Calm down, Jack Black. What's Podbean's policy on swearing?
It's fine
Fuck,
because...
fuckity fuck.
don't do that. We'll lose all the children. But if I link it into the other place, the iTunes store, which you can do from Podbean,
Yes.
I have to mark everyone as explicit.
Okay, well that's fine. Just put a little marker on it.
I know, but that's effort, and I don't like effort.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'm very lazy.
Anyway, so today is what's the date today? The 12th of January.
Yes.
Which means we've just come out of the Christmas/Hanukkah/ non-denominational holiday period. So did you get anything gaming related for Christmas?
No.
Lame. Did you get anything gaming related for Christmas?
I got myself some stuff.
Oh yeah, if you're counting that, then
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
totally
I got
counting
it.
tons of stuff.
No, the main thing I actually got my wife the first expansion pack for The Walking Dead,
Cool.
because
Nice.
it's something we watch the TV show
Right.
when it's in season, and played some games of that, and she said, can you get more people? And I was like, most certainly you can.
Why,
so
yes, you can.
yeah, pick that up so we can use that on rainy nights. Or
Cool.
whatnot.
Nice.
Very cool.
I got the green stuff for color shift metallics and metallics.
Is that for your bugs?
That's for my bugs and for anything else that needs a color shifting. I tested the purple out because that's the color I'm going with, and it sprayed on real well. Like
Airbrushed it?
it just went straight out the airbrush, like it was no big thing. And all the paints, when you get them in the bottle, it's just pearl
Oh, okay.
inside, and you're like, "Oh, is this broken? Did I get a bad batch?"
Yeah.
And I shook it and shook it and shook it, and it's still pearl. And I was like, "Oh, have a look at the other colors." I'm like, "They're all pearl." I was like, "Oh, I think this is broken."
Uh-oh.
And then I sprayed it over black, like it says in the instructions.
Nice
Glossy
shine-
black,
nice
glossy
shiny
black.
gloss, yeah.
Glossy black is the best option, but regular black works just as well.
Okay.
I sprayed it and out came purple. I was like, "Oh my god, some sort of witchcraft in this paint," and that was really cool.
So you're going to use
I'm
any
gonna-
other colours?
I don't know. I want to use the gold, but I need an army that's gold. So the only one I
Like-
can think of is Custodes.
Custodes!
And the Blood Angels, Flying Angel-y dudes.
Sanguinary
The
Guards?
Sanguinary
Or
Guard.
you could get some Sigmarines.
Or I
the
could
nice
get
and shiny gold.
some, I could start some Age of Sigmar with
Don't do that.
the golden guys.
Apparently Age of Sigmar is no longer the game we thought it was.
Yeah, apparently that thing has somewhat changed. It's no longer a weird game and no more singing and dancing to win the game.
Yeah, it came into its own when General's Handbook
Yeah.
first came out, which gave it points
I
and
watched
structure.
Yeah, that's it. So that was what was missing, structure. It was just a random put all your stuff down and it all just ends up as a big melee in the middle of the table. Now I was watching Ash Barker last night, and he was playing the new Plague stuff against the tree elf or tree people. I think it's a wood. Yeah, it's the Wood Elves book, but he was only using wooden people like dryads and big tree duders. But that's really cool. And then I was like, well, I don't really want to spend any money. But then I look at that box over there that's full of Chaos Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
And I could do Chaos.
Yes.
But I could use a colour shift paint on them.
Okay.
You know, golden Chaos.
Yeah,
Nothing says decadent like decadent.
That's
Gold.
true.
Yeah. Gold and purple.
Golden purple. Yeah.
All right, so you
Royal
can play
Ace.
is Age of Sigmar your game this year?
I could give it a whirl. I've never played it, and I've
Yeah,
shat
me
all
neither.
over it. Only because I watched that game and saw the stupid singing and dancing stuff.
All right, that's true.
And
Let's give it a go.
give it a whirl, see what happens.
May as well.
You know?
What's the worst that could happen?
Damien could be like, this is a dumb game, I hate you.
Spending a shitload of money on a new system.
This is true. Well, I probably don't need to because I already got the stuff here. So,
You just have to put it on basis.
yeah, round bases.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Is it all on 32s or is it all on just 25s?
A bit of both. Now, I did see a bit of a kerfuffle locally with regards to basing recently, which seemed to have simmered down. But because some TOs are asking or requiring people to have everything on round bases, which is the new style.
Yeah.
Right.
And that put a few noses out of joint of people who had stuff on square bases.
Oh,
from
old
existing
Ninth Age
armies and
players
stuff.
sort of,
Yeah. And also it's the fact of whether you're measuring from the base or measuring from the model, because you have overhangs and stuff like that. It gets a little bit complicated. So
Sure.
measuring from the base does make the most sense as
Yep.
far as I'm concerned. Obviously I don't play the game, but that it's
And
Yeah.
whenever I see
Constant.
Age of Sigma, I don't see what I used to, which was huge amounts of models. It's, you know, can there still be huge amounts of models, or is it just
Yeah.
the amount of wounds you play?
Yeah, I remember, I think it was at Nikon, I was having a look at the Age of Sigmar games there,
Yeah.
and there were a couple of games which involved a Skaven army and a Goblin army, both of which had 200 plus
Oh my god.
figures, and I think one of those games got to like turn 3, and that's in a 2.5 plus hour round, which is not really what you want at a tournament.
No.
But then that's someone just doing that because they can.
Yeah,
You
they've made the conscious decision to take that many models, knowing
they're
that
gonna
you don't
time
have
out.
them on movement trays and stuff.
Yeah. There is I think people are starting to move towards using movement trays, aren't they?
For some
for
armies,
cultists
yeah,
and
for some
shit like
armies
that
it
was
works.
that was some 40k stuff.
Is
though.
that 40k?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Someone's just doing.
You can take things in formations, and there's some advantages to doing that. But what you're able to do with 50 clan rats when they're not in a ranked up, you can spread them across the entire board and make all sorts of conga lines and star shapes and stuff to deny areas for dropping troops and things like that. So,
But
there's
you hit them with
advantages to
anything big and strong though.
Yeah, sure, they pop.
Goodbye,
but
rats.
Still, you've got to get something big and strong there. And I would imagine if you put something into that line, then the line suddenly wraps around and you're surrounded and you've got 50 clan rats stabbing you with fucking warpstone blades, right?
I think they're just normal swords because they're not that flash.
All right, well, whatever.
yeah.
It's rock a
Doesn't matter.
steam engine there or a dragon or something.
What I noticed your Termagants over there. What colour are you going to paint them purple as well?
Yeah, I just have to paint them black. I wasn't using them in the game.
Paint them
we
a
played.
different colour.
Why?
Purple's boring.
It's like wouldn't match the scheme. Then it'd be
Yeah, I
dumb.
suppose.
And then you'd lose points on your painting. rubric
Exactly
if you took
because
it
it's
to
not
an
consistent.
eight. Yeah.
Fair, to be fair, if we play at 40k tournaments, you're not going to beat Monkey's Decock anyway, are you?
No, or someone's squares or diamonds that they painted.
Oh, the Harleys, yeah, yeah.
Harlequins, diamonds.
Yeah, with the Diamantes. on the
Apparently they
models as
did
well.
really well.
They did. They did. They did. Nice one.
No, so that's something I might try this year. Give it a whirl.
Okay.
Might need to rebase them, but they're not mine anyway. I mean, they're mine, but they weren't mine originally, so I have no real physical connection to removing them from the square bases that they used to be on.
Seems fair. You can get 32 mil rounds from Ollie at Battle Kiwi as well. So
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And he'd be
Handy.
able to even give you trays to put them on as well.
Yep.
If you wanted that, to do that.
display trays like all the cool kids do.
Absolutely right.
Then I'd be like, look at me, I'm playing Age of Sigmar.
That's where I'm getting all my monkey. Got some movement trays for Impetus from Ollie. Says they're really, really good. They look the business, so they're custom cut because at the moment Ollie does movement trays for Kings of War, so they're all set to troop and horde and whatever size. So
Yeah.
they're going to be custom cut for, but
He does custom cutting,
he sure does, and he
Yeah.
does it real quick too.
and if you put in the code BEL5,
hey, yeah,
you might get a 5% discount as
you
well.
may do.
Crazy talk.
And I mean, that's like the turnaround that he did on this. I mean, it's a bit of a segue here, but the turnaround he did on that stuff for Monkey, unbelievable considering he's right in the middle of doing all his cutting for his
Star Wars.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I had
unbelievable.
him do my display base for Arena Rex, which I took to Gen Con.
Yeah,
And I basically drew that on the back of a napkin.
Yeah.
Took a photo of it and sent it through and said, "Oh, how much is it going to be?" Came back to me the next day with the price, and
Yeah.
then I think it was about 3 days later it arrived with me. So
good man.
He turned the skull trophies that I did for the 40k tournament around in a less than a week.
Yep.
From idea to delivery.
Seriously good man.
Good stuff.
So I got Ticket to Ride. I've been wanting that game for ages.
which one? The original? Or
Yeah,
the new
Europe.
one?
No, Ticket to Ride Europe. So played some games of that over Christmas. Introduced the wife to that. Sort of a gateway into maybe getting her into other sort of non-traditional
No,
games.
I have heard a cunning strategy for playing Ticket to Ride, where you don't actually try and build your own routes. You because how did it work? You take key crossroads
Yes.
and stuff, and put your railway lines there
Yes.
to block off other people's ones, so they can't complete their missions.
Yes.
So the negative points they have at the end of the game are more than the positive points you've got. So you can do it just to completely cockblock other people
Yeah,
and not actually build your own.
That sounds
railway
surprisingly like the how to always win at Monopoly, which is to just build houses and never build hotels.
Exactly.
Because there's no more houses left in the box.
That's right.
Wow.
So yeah,
Dick moves all round.
It's kind of not the strategy that I employed. Although in the last game, so we played 3 games over Christmas while we were down at the lake, and the last game I took a 2-train route as my last turn to what I thought was going to complete a ticket for me. Turned out it didn't, but it blocked my wife at the same time, so she was not impressed.
Yeah.
I put the cards down. She's like, "You're not seriously going to do that." I'm like, "I have to. It's for my route." And then we're counting up the points, and I didn't actually finish the route, but she would have finished her route if I hadn't have done that. And I may or may not have bought an Imperial Knight.
Oh yeah, I saw you putting that together.
Yeah. So I'm building that at the moment instead of building my ancients, but I should be building my ancients.
Yeah, you should. I've almost finished building mine.
I know.
Where did you guys buy all these ancients?
So it started out as a bit of a. So Dave Mulder is quite keen on 28 more ancients, and we started looking at some different rule sets. Monkey and I were looking at Art de la Guerre. So I've got a copy of that rules, and then it looks. So I think we're all playing basic impetus now. We're going to start playing basic impetus. So as a start for that, I've always wanted to do a Macedonian army, Alexandrian Macedonian.
A what?
Macedonian.
Is that like one of them nuts?
No, that's Macadamia.
Oh. You mean do you mean Macedonian?
It's Macedonian.
Mm-hmm. Be sure it's not.
Okay. Ask people from Macedon.
Okay.
Clever. So I've always wanted to do, and so I started looking at what the models I'd need, and there was somebody on TCOW who said, "Shit, I've got a whole heap of Greek stuff like hoplites and peltists and stuff like that. Do you want them?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Nice.
cool. How much do you want for them?"
Nice.
He's like, "I don't know, $20,
Sweet.
something like that." I'm like, "Yeah, fucking sweet." And there's like 100 of them there, so it's pretty much a full. I can after I purchase some cavalry, do a full Athenian Greek hoplite army. Just to do the Alexandrians, I'd need some heavy successor cavalry and some phalangites, and I'm there.
Can you do the sweet like Spartans?
Yep.
Can you do the cool 300 Spartans with like no armor at all except on their wrists and their
Yep.
hats?
Totally.
Someone makes those models, don't they? The copy of the movie ones.
Yep, yeah, there
Yeah.
are a few of those about.
Yeah. So yeah, you could absolutely do it.
That'd be
And
sweet.
the base count for
Sparta.
basic impetus is like between 10 and 20 bases. Might even be less.
Yeah, it's not particularly strenuous.
No.
I mean, I'm doing Caesarean Romans, and I started with the starter box from Warlord Games.
Yeah.
Which is the Hail Caesar starter box. Now the nice thing is that Hail Caesar works on 4 guys on a 40mm square.
Yep.
And basic impetus is 120 by 40.
Yep.
For your foot troops. So it's it's perfect sizing.
Yeah.
And that's given me enough for all the Legionnaires I needed, including like twice over. I'm
Easy,
using
right?
some Legionnaires with slings, despite the fact it's not particularly historically accurate, but the bits are in the box, so I'm using them
Nice.
as one unit of my skirmishers. So basically, I needed to pick up a box of auxiliaries, 1 blister pack of Numidian skirmishers,
Yep.
and a box of cav, and that's
you're
my
done,
army
right?
done.
Yeah. It sort of reminds me a little, like, in terms of the army sizes of DBA, right? So DBA, it was like a
The little
maximum
tiny-
of 12 bases.
Tiny bases.
In an
yeah.
army, and basic impetus is sort of that as well. It's really, really good. So and the rules play really simply, right? So I bought the rules off Wargames Vault for like $5.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's basic impetus. Like if you want the full impetus, then I don't know why you'd bother. But
Yep.
so I'm looking forward to getting a game of that in at First Club of the Year. I think it's on the 28th.
I think it's the 28th, but I have to check on Monday because I'm not 100% sure what I told the person.
Yeah.
But I want to say 28th.
Sadly, I will not be able to make it to that particular club because I'll be
Sad.
in the middle of loading/unloading about 60 trucks.
Oh, you're moving the
That
factory.
is when we're moving the warehouse. Yes.
That's right.
The factory, the warehouse.
Yeah.
Yes. So it'll be, like Ancients, I think is a good project this year. Hopefully it doesn't go the way of my ACW project that I had last year that's still sitting there unfinished. I made a really...
You nearly finished though, right?
I made a pretty cracking start to it. Like, I've almost
did.
finished a brigade,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I could play a game of Black Powder, no worries. Easy.
It's just the other game. So that's what happens. You want to play big games, but you want to play at 28 mil. Gotta plan those things.
Sure
Gotta
do.
commit. Gotta get a can of big spray paint.
And this evening I may or may not have been asked whether or not I want to play sharp practice towards the end of the year, 28 mil Black Powder Skirmish for Napoleonics.
Oh yeah, I have a set of Highlander guys, but they're for Monkey.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
who asked me.
Yeah, I thought so.
I've always been keen on Napoleonics, and I've played Napoleonics before in 15 mil, and I really do enjoy it. I
Oh,
enjoy
and
the grandeur.
we've got an invite for next Saturday to play some Napoleonics.
I won't be there.
Why not?
It's my wedding anniversary.
That's a poor excuse.
It's
Just
also
bring
my
a
father.
wife.
Yeah.
It's
only
also
gonna
my
be-
father-in-law's birthday. It's also It's I haven't texted Andy back yet.
Why did
I
you
won't
get
be there.
married on your father-in-law's birthday?
So I just don't know. I don't know.
Just to make it easier on
Pretty much.
happy wedding /
much.
birthday.
I remember-
Maybe that was your wife's gift to him. Was you?
He said when he gave his speech at the wedding, he stood up and he went, "Look, I'd really like to thank everybody for turning up on this great occasion, my 40th birthday." And that that was ridiculous. A, because he was 50 something at the time, and B, because I'm in a suit and his daughter's in a fucking wedding dress. So it's quite funny. It's good.
Let's all laugh at that.
So yeah, I will be doing wedding anniversary stuff instead of playing Napoleonics. So I'm going to text Andy back and see if we can move it to the following.
Whoa! You're gonna move it? No.
Saturday.
I'm no.
How are you going to get there?
Damien will both
He
go.
won't be going. It's
He
Napoleonics.
loves
He
Napoleonics.
fucking doesn't.
I'm gonna crash the lines and load canister and
Form squares.
form squares. Yeah, that's
Do it.
what I'm gonna do. And charge the light brigade.
What are you going to do?
Capture those guns. Huh?
What are you going to do if you enjoy it?
I'm probably gonna buy a bunch of Napoleonics, paint some red
15 mil.
dudes.
15 mil Napoleonics.
Yeah, I mean it's not
I've
that
got-
hard. I mean I've already done a test on a 7 years war figure. British is easy. Just paint them red and give them an ink wash. Boom, done. Then all the white trim. Then all the little baggy things. Then you realise there's not actually that much red on them. There's still lots of red on them, but it's like, oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass. But I'll just get a can of red spray paint. Psh, done. Thank you, and then fill in the details.
So you'll be playing Fog In, I would say, if we're
Probably.
playing at Andy's.
Give
So
it a
he's
whirl.
been working on the on the
Turning
second
into an
edition.
old person now. Gonna play Napoleonics.
Awesome. You should play Ancients as well. It's great.
I do have an ancient army.
It's in 15 mil.
That's the true scale.
Just put it
The
on.
one true scale.
Put it on a 120 by 40 base.
Yeah,
I'm
Just put more,
fighting
more
against my
dudes
dude.
on the same size base.
Yeah, you
and-
could do.
Yeah.
and they're all pikemen too.
What kind of army have you got? Swiss.
Medieval Swiss.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Good old pikes.
I love pike.
Nothing stopped pikes. Pike is undefeatable. The only thing that stopped it was the invention of artillery.
That is true. That is very true. Black powder did quite decimate the old pike line.
It did, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that's what we did for Christmas. So we've got gaming. Have you done any gaming recently? Oh, yes, you have. Of course
Yeah,
you
I
have.
played against you and Tony.
Yeah.
Me and Dane, we played in the video that you can view on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Some Tyranids eating some dooders.
Eating elves.
Eating elves. It was delicious.
That game was going our way, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it just turned.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
yeah, it was so close that it was crazy close. Like, it had gone either way. If you'd done 2 wounds that I'd not saved,
Yeah,
you guys would have won from there.
absolutely.
Because at that point, Synapse collapsed. So the video cut out, just when I started
I
winning.
was going to say, because it looked fairly one-sided when I was
Yeah.
watching it this afternoon.
it was.
And when it cut out, that was when we turned it around.
The bugs.
It was mental. Like, if I'd lost both of those bugs and they'd failed their invulnerable saves,
Yeah.
my army would have lost Synapse and just gone apeshit and +1s to shoot everywhere, and it would have been messy. But
There was a part in the turn that we missed. So we had that scrum in the middle of my Witch Elves versus the Gene Stealers, and there was like 2 Gene Stealers left versus 4 Witch Elves, and they did 5 wounds on my 4 Witch Elves, 4 plus, and I had to make 5 4+ saves.
Yep.
And I made
Failed
them
all.
all.
Oh, you
made them all.
It's always lovely when they.
And then there was the last Witch Elf versus my Broodlord,
Yep.
and also one of the Elf Harlequin,
The Solitaire.
Solitaire, which was really obnoxious. And I got Greg had to do his Feel No Pain 6+, and he did it. And I was like, for fuck's sake. And then it was about to be Greg's turn, and he was going to do the whole thing. And then I found where I kept my
Found the stratagem.
my stratagem.
Oh no, your Warlord trait.
My Warlord trait, because I've been looking. I was looking through the book. I was looking through the decks. I was like, where's the stratagem that says I can go first? Like, this Warlord trait nominates a unit or himself to fight first in any phase where they can fight. And I was like, oh, here it is. It's in his under his
Right,
trait that I gave him.
Murderous Broodlord.
And I killed him
With a Witch
first.
Elf.
I was like, phew. And then we tidied that up. It's a good, fun game. I'd like the battery to last longer, but RIP. So you get when you buy Apple, I guess.
Well, maybe you should have bought the right flash camera at the end of last year.
I should have, but I didn't. I bought a normal camera, DSLR, which supposedly is good at recording, but does not record for shit and does not do macros very well.
Doesn't focus.
But it's really good
shit.
at taking photos, which is awesome. So that's what I'll just use it for now.
Yeah, cool. So
Handycam this year at some point.
it's a good idea. Or you could just take 300,000 photos and splice them together in a video.
Or you can just do what I do and just use your phone.
That's what he did. He ran out of battery.
Battery failed. It was not a good move. So you did that, and then on Wednesday this week I went over to today's place to play some TNT.
Yeah.
So we
Haven't played for a while, and it was fucking good.
We did a little 2-week campaign, just 2 consecutive Wednesdays with games each day. We had four people each day, and it was great because we played TNT back when the PDF rules and stuff had first been released, and we had a campaign which went for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, and then some of the other guys continued on at home for quite a while. So we started fresh with a new one, and it's the first one using our hardback rule books, and whatnot.
Now, so I do believe the Wasteland Companion is going to come out soon as well.
That is true.
Yep.
And that'll have an entire gang of robots in it.
Yeah, and it's got a few rules tweaks and stuff, with some of which we're using, like the fact that SMGs and machine pistols can burst fire after you move, but assault rifles can't.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So good.
So yeah, that was a great way to spend a couple of days during the holidays.
Yeah. And Greg's taken some video of that, and that'll get up on YouTube at some point.
Yeah, there's a video going to go live on YouTube either before you're hearing this or not long after. So it's all prepped and ready to go. I just need to upload it.
Cool.
Yeah, and that was the last mission with Dave's Caravanners versus Damien's Preservers in the pest control mission.
Nice.
And I was controlling the zombies.
Oh, great!
Hilarious fun. Probably the single best game of TNT.
So you were
I've ever
were you
witnessed.
recording it and also controlling the zombies?
Yeah.
Nice.
So he's in
Yeah.
charge of the
Nice.
zombie phase.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
It was the first time we've
Impartial.
played that mission before, and
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot of fun.
I like when you start adding in all the extra rules for things that are happening on the board itself.
Yeah.
Like that pest control mission is cool, but there's
Yeah.
also the one with the roaming coal fires or whatever they are.
I don't know.
There's like an underground coal fire
Yeah,
that's
one
burning
of the-
everywhere and it moves
okay.
around
Oh,
the
the
table.
wasteland hazards and
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
hazards are
the
great.
hazards and creatures of the waste is something we hadn't been using, which we really should start.
Oh,
start
absolutely.
using because
Yeah.
it adds a lot to it.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, and then people will still play some games
Yeah, I
every
think
now
so.
and then and stuff. And then the next one coming up on the campaign side of things, that particular Little Damien, has been working on a bunch of stuff for Frostgrave Ghost Archipelago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw them play a game of that, and it was funny.
Yeah.
One person controlled the weather, and the other person could summon beasts.
Yep.
And I think at one point he summoned a pterodactyl, and that was flying around causing.
What?
Yeah, 'cause
It's dinosaur.
it's a
jungle.
dinosaur jungle.
Yep.
Yeah, but then the person who controlled the weather kept calling lightning strikes down on Damien's character, but somehow Damien managed to just run away in the last phase and let the animals go to
Yeah.
work. The
So-
Beastmaster character is pretty.
So the
funny
difference
mechanic.
between Ghost Archipelago, aside from the setting and the original Frostgrave, is you don't have two wizards in your warband. You've only got the one.
So it's still wizards. It's still magics.
the still
kind
magics.
of, but
so
it's a different explanation. Of
you've got
magics.
kind of like a pirate captain as your main guy, and
Yeah.
then you've got a
but no guns.
yeah, no
No
guns.
guns.
It's crossbow pirates.
Okay.
And the jungle setting and the campaign has got a number of scenarios which you play through, and someone can actually win it at the end of it.
Right.
But he's been doing a bunch of work with his 3D printer and making heaps of terrain for it and stuff. So
Yeah, and all those beast creatures he's made with 3D printer as well.
yeah, and I gave
So
him a whole bunch of Relpatha dinosaurs, which I picked up at Gen Con, not this year, the year before, because they're getting sold there by the gram. So you
By
can
the-
just
Oh, by the weight,
by
nice.
the weight, yeah. So I just filled up a bag of some snakes and dinosaurs and stuff,
Awesome.
and go and get weighed, and it's like, yeah, that's 1 ounce. That's going to be this much.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have to go to Historicon this year. We should start saving now.
Which one is that?
It's London.
No,
What?
Historicon's in.
Oh no, I'm getting confused with Salute. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So Historicon's in, I want to say August.
Yeah. Okay. Such in the month whereabouts in the world?
On the States.
Which part? There's a bit. Is that the one in Pennsylvania
yeah,
near
yeah,
the Gettysburg?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
not Gettysburg.
No, Gettysburg's. It's the one up in Virginia Way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah.
So we want us to go to the States, then you want us to go to some random inland
Yeah,
location.
yeah,
Cool. I love it.
yeah.
Traveling to the States.
I've never been.
Well, they make you take your clothes. Oh no, just your pant. No, just your belt and your shoes. Well,
Is
they
this
do that
like
all
your-
airports,
Is this
right?
like your Fallout 2 story again?
No. They make you take shoes and belt, right? And
Yeah.
all the other stuff. They make you
Yeah.
do that here?
No,
No, they didn't make me do that when I came home.
no.
So my first trip to Gen Con, I had chosen my pants poorly because they were ones which would only stay up if they had a belt on it.
Oh, nice.
So
you have to hold
yeah,
your
so I
pants
was
up.
at LAX in the body scanning machine. We have to go in, and so
you
belts
got a
off,
body scanning machine.
Yep.
Cool.
which you have to hold your hands above your head
Yeah.
while
Nice.
you're doing it. So I'm like, I'm sort of like going there, and I'm like, my pants are so going to fall off for this. I'm like wide stance, trying
Yep.
to keep them in place with my thighs, and it's all. I didn't completely have them fall off, but
no.
yeah, I looked like a sort of a 14-year-old skater gangster by the end of it because most of my underwear was showing at that point.
Nice.
You should have opted for the very invasive pat down instead.
That's what I got this year when traveling with my
Oh,
daughter.
cool.
Because
It's like, let me just feel your junk there, sir. Is this a bomb? Or it's like, it's a bomb,
so
all
they
right.
they don't make you carry a baby through the body scanner for some reason. You get taken through the other side. And then
Oh, that's because they don't want to
wander and stuff.
irradiate the baby.
Yeah,
That's fair.
But they'll irradiate you because they don't care.
yeah.
It's the first place you'd hide a bomb, isn't it?
Besides, you can actually hide guns and knives from those body scanners. You just wear them on your side. Like if you tape a
Yeah.
gun to your side, right, and your hippie bit just above it,
Yeah.
and the scanner goes around, it can't see the gun. It's some weird thing. It's like a
What?
blind. It's like a blind spot for through the big circly scanner. Yeah, they're shown on some TV series or show
Okay, that doesn't sound right.
how to. Yeah, no, it's legit.
okay.
Just
I'll
just
tell you
Google it. How to beat like the airport scanners.
Yeah, because that won't set off any fucking alerts.
And then just Google a whole bunch of how to build bomb stuff, and then when you take your phone through,
I'll do it from
they'll
Puzzle's
want
house.
it. Oh, that's another thing. Don't take our phones either,
Why?
because then they'll be like, oh, I need to look at all your like stuff on your phone, because they just download your phone.
What do you mean?
They take a copy of everything on your phone.
I haven't got anything on my phone.
Imagine all the places you visited on your phone.
Yeah, it's something which doesn't happen all the time, but they do
They might
have the
random Greg.
jurisdiction and powers to ask you to turn over all your social media passwords and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Is that right?
Yeah, everything.
Fuck them.
That's
Let's
what.
just
That's,
go to CanCon.
yeah, that's it. Well, that's going to Australia.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you're
it's like-
allowed them.
Next week.
Oh,
it's next
shit.
week, so never mind. And you're allowed them for free because they're
I
like,
am.
like returning home. Oh,
Yeah.
we're all allowed them for free. It's Visa waiver.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
not Visa waiver. What's the thing? I don't know.
Open door.
Yeah,
Just don't stay.
yeah exactly.
Yeah. Don't
What
overstay
do you
your
want to? It's like, welcome to Sydney where the temperature is 45 degrees. It's like, you can just fuck off with that shit, mate.
Awesome. It's
Yeah.
great.
You
Halfway
wouldn't
to
want to take a
boiling
resident
water.
army to Sydney, it would just melt
It
on
would
the
just
table.
melt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true. So it sounds like it's going to be an exciting year for us. then.
Oh, mate, 2018 is going to be the new year that I do something cool.
Like what?
Paint stuff, I guess.
You did that last year.
Oh, paint something new. Play something new. Play some Age of Sigma.
I don't know about that, eh? I mean,
What,
maybe.
Age of Sigma or
Yeah.
paint something new?
So my goal for this year is to play as many of the systems that I own as possible.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So
That's
'cause
a good
obviously
plan.
We all have stuff which just sits in the cupboard forever.
Mm-hmm.
And from time to time, it's nice to get it out and have a game with it. So
Like
That's why
just-
playing TNT. was
Just looking at
almost
my
over-
drop zone commander there.
Exactly.
Oh,
You
sad.
know, I think I got 2 games as Drop Zone Commander in last year.
You did,
It
you did.
Yeah.
I did.
And didn't you take it to Gen Con?
No,
No.
I took Arena
You took-
Rex to Gen Con and ended up coming third, which
Which
was
is not bad.
surprising considering I played 2 games.
Whoops.
Yeah, two games of Arena Rex ever before that tournament.
Yeah.
One of which was the demo game at the previous year's Gen Con. When
Nice.
I played it and I was like, I'm buying all of this.
Nice.
Because that was the day after I played a demo of Guild Ball,
Yeah.
and was thinking, well, I might buy some of this, and then Arena Rex came out, and it's like it's the same sort of mechanics as Guild Ball, but
Yeah.
gladiators, and you're just killing people.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
So you've only ever played 2 games and you still came third.
I still ended up coming third. Yeah.
Nice.
Out
Beginner's
of
luck.
3?
No, there was like 24 of us. It was pretty
Not
nice.
bad. Not bad.
It was probably the majority of the population of Arena Rex players in the States. But,
Nice.
No, it's what Arena Rex is one of those systems where everyone sees it at the show and sees the demos, and then just immediately goes to the wall of models there, and
Yeah.
you drop like $300 US
Nice.
and buy all the things because it's a fantastic system and the models are just beautiful.
You know, the models do look seriously good. It's just
Yeah.
I can't fit that in my house.
It's quite
I
small.
could.
You
No,
only,
you
you
could.
only,
You've
you
got
only need
room.
like 6 guys. So.
Yeah.
Just clear out some of the extra space you got lying around. Like, there's that shit on your couch.
I'm going to get rid of that couch this year
Why?
and put up more shelves.
But what are you going to sit on?
Chairs.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Chairs.
Yeah. No, I plan to finish painting. Like, my TNT gang up the top there. They're on the top shelf. I
Saw
think
that.
I need a dog, but I found I have an undead direwolf type dog thing going on. So that's going to be my mongrel because it looks well mutated.
Cool.
It's got hardly any skull bits showing, so it's going to be my thing. And
With the warband that I wrote up for Wednesday, I do have to paint one more lady, so she needs to be painted, and then that warband's done. So I have 2 warbands for TNT from there.
yeah, I have
Pretty cool.
I have that warband painted, and I painted a spear guy. It's the Chaos Cultist, but I tried to get rid of all the dumb Chaos symbols and just
Oh yeah.
cover over them with silly things. Like, one guy's got like a big implant in his head, and it was a bit obvious, so I cut bits out of it. But I think they look a little less 40k and more,
All right.
post-apocalyptic.
Set it now. Painting goal for the year.
Paint all the things.
No. One thing that you have to finish by the end of the year.
Oh shit!
Not like a model, like an army. What
An
army are you
army?
going to finish painting by the
Oh
end of
my
the year?
god. Oh my. Well, we do have Panzerschreck coming up again,
Oh my.
and it is late war, so I've been told by sneaky people.
That's true.
Ooh. Oh. You know what? I'll probably just use something I have that.
That's
But you know
right,
what? I'm going to paint up an Age of Sigmar,
Yes.
Slaves to Darkness
Yes.
army.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going balls deep into this.
Well, I'm just recycling stuff I've got.
Okay. All right.
Balls Deep would be like, I'm gonna like change my name to like Sigmund. No, hang on, what's his name? Sigma.
All right.
John, what's his name? John Sigma.
John Sigma.
John Sigma.
All right. I am going to finish my Ultramarines. So paint every single Ultramarine I've got.
See, notice how I didn't say that about my Tyranids?
Why?
Because I have a 60-litre tub full of them.
I still have at least 50 Ultramarines to paint.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
I've got a
work to
lot
do.
of stuff there.
Work to
Because I
do.
bought extra stuff.
Dumb.
And some tanks to paint and that knight that's got to go with them. So that's a lot of stuff.
That is a lot of stuff.
And then I'm going to get my Greeks finished.
You Greeks.
My Greeks are going to get finished. What about yours?
Well, I've got my Romans, which I'm working on at the moment, but they're
You're gonna finish
only
those by the end of the week.
they're a couple of weeks away from being done.
Yeah.
And then next off the rank for me will be my Scorenzy guys for
Cool.
bolt action.
Yeah.
So they need to be done by Easter.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
I'm
Nikon?
thinking about that one in Easter because we don't usually have anything on in Auckland in Easter anymore.
Yeah.
And this is in the Tron at Fraser High? Or no, somewhere else. It's a
It's
Workingman's
at
Club.
the Cosy Club, yeah. So
Ah,
there's
drinking.
beersies.
Good, good. So I like this. And it's bolt action, so that means we're not playing Flames of War like we normally do. So we'd limit our Flames of War, but we get bolt action.
Yeah.
Plus it's with the dogs. New Plymouth guy. No, Palmerston North guys or New Plymouth guys?
I think they're from New Plymouth.
Yeah.
But so it'll be a good crew of guys who are
Oh,
going to be there.
The Taranaki
Yeah.
miniature guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bryn and...
And it's 1,000 points. So you were telling me just bring your Marines, and I'm like, come on, I'm kind of over those. But then, you know, they do have some fun stuff in those Marines.
It's true.
Yeah, it's two
Shotguns.
Well, there's 3 days of bolt action, but
yeah,
the Saturday, Sunday is the tournament, and
Yeah.
then, or is it? Yeah, the first 2 days is the tournament, and then the third day is a team mega battle.
Cool.
Oh, jeez.
So I'll just be going down for the 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do the 2 days.
2 days.
I don't know if I'm going to
Mega battle would just take too long. It's like, and now we pull this dice. It's like, it's been 30 minutes since I had a turn.
Yeah.
A unit activate. Yeah.
But my main project for this year is Kings of War Undead.
Nice.
I've got about
Nice.
1,000 points already done and painted, but
Yep.
they're going to get cut off their bases. Everyone's going
Oh,
on
I
new graveyard multi
Nice,
bases,
right.
which
Saw
will
that.
all put together to make the army display board.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
And then obviously there's more skeletons and stuff to go on there, so it's going to be a fully skeleton army. There's
Cool.
not going to be any werewolves or stuff like that. It's
No
it's all
werewolves.
About, no, it's all about the skeletons.
That's
Wow.
totally against the meta.
Yeah, well, my plan being
They all
is
hit on 5+s too. They're the worst.
there's only sort of 5 times you get to charge in the game. Obviously, at 5 turns you can charge in usually. So my plan is just to take so many units that they can't kill all of them. Yeah.
It's a
And
pretty
they
good
all
tactic.
just basic skeletons, right?
No, I'm gonna have
Revenants?
revenants in there
Nice.
as well.
Slightly better skeletons.
Yeah, and there'll be plenty of skeleton cav and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah, I look at it as it's an undead army.
Yeah.
Rather than a hodgepodge of zombies and werewolves and
Yeah.
dragons and whatnot. So
Nice.
Right, I'll get a new Kings of War army and paint that. I don't
No,
want
you
to do
won't.
my dwarves.
No, you won't.
I will.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You'll see when saying
we
new
got
comes
that
out.
swanky new steel behemoth.
Yeah. It's like a big ram.
I used to be. I was interested in getting the dwarves done, but now I don't want to.
It would be so easy to do dwarves
Yeah,
too.
but
You
the
just,
models are just shit.
Yeah.
I have no interest in painting them because they look so bad. Yeah, I just they sit there and I don't have an interest in painting them.
Boo Ernser.
And if I'm not interested in painting them, I'm not going to fucking paint them.
That's why I got rid of my most of my samurai.
Yeah.
Because it's the War Games Factory ones, which aren't they're in some aspects they're good, some aspects they're not. They
Yeah.
don't paint up nicely fast,
Yeah.
and I had like 300 of them.
That's
so
yeah. So you're giving them away for test of honor and stuff, eh?
I sold a bunch, and
Yeah.
I've kept enough to give me every option for Test of Honor, but
Nice.
I'm still tempted to just buy some metal Test of Honor figures and get rid of the last of the plastics, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, they're a bit higher quality. Those ones, right? The new ones, the test of honor
The
figures.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
medals.
the medals are nice, and there's some really nice medals from Perry and
Yeah.
from a few other things, and yeah, the War Games Factory ones.
They were just cheap.
Yeah,
That's it normally with those.
Well, it's going to be. I mean, there's going to be better and more releases from a samurai perspective, because there's now samurai for Hail Caesar.
And it's samurai for Pike and Shot.
Pike and Shot.
But that's the same samurai.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there'll probably be some more medals for them, but yeah, that's the same plastic samurai.
Right.
That discussion came up on Kings of War Australia.
I'll have a look at the Kings of War rulebook. I'll go, what would I enjoy painting?
Abyssals. You can paint them all
No.
red. Demons.
No, I hate painting
Little
red.
devils.
You don't have to paint them red.
You can paint them
black.
blue.
There's some really nice black ones
Yeah.
True.
with
Black's
green
so-
flames and stuff, though.
So tough to highlight.
With grey.
Yes, grey, I know.
Yeah.
Or fire.
But I want something that's got a bit more, I
Those
guess,
dogs are so dumb.
a
They
bit
buck at their
more.
own reflection. That's how dumb they are.
That's what, well, you shouldn't have mirrors on the roofs. I want something with a bit more, I suppose, dynamicism about the models.
Oh, God.
Only because painting rank and file. Like, I know I'm going to have to paint rank and file, but dwarven rank and file is just so shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
do it. So I'm going to sell my dwarves. I'm going to buy a new Kings of War army, and I'm going to paint it by the end of the year.
Good plan.
And then I might finish some other stuff that I've got. Like, I've got my dark elves for 40k, and I've got my good elves for 40k.
You just got elves for 40k.
I've got I've got like a new Team Yankee army on the way,
Oh, same.
and
Poos.
I've got another Team Yankee army sitting there, and then Vietnam's going to come out.
Oh.
But most of my Vietnam's painted.
We're just going to
anyway.
run out of time and
I
be
know.
old and
This happens
have
every year.
half
I'm
painted
just gonna
armies.
ask Mike if I can play with his stuff.
Yeah,
That works too.
Vietnam's seriously cool. I love
Yeah,
Vietnam.
I thought it was when I first walked into playtesting years ago, all those years ago.
Yes.
It was accidental. I was just dropping off some painted miniatures, and then they're like, come play Vietnam. I was like, I'm not a playtester. It's like, you are now. I was like, cool. And I remember playing against Dad, and I shot Beehive at him, and it was hilarious. It's like all these little NBA dudes running against these guns. It's like, what is this? What's this Beehive stuff? It's Roth 6. Boom! It's like, no more NBA.
New NVA.
It's
Love
good
it.
stuff.
Cool.
But yeah.
There you go. That's the plans for the year.
Yeah, and I'm also going to go kill some dogs,
Nice.
which is another plan.
Right. Well, then we'll wrap up the show.
Yeah.
Right, shall we?
That's
so we'll
enough.
do a two-parter, and we'll go from there. So.
Oh,
Remember to come over and find us on social
Podbean.
media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, blog, and because Damien's not here and Dave reminded me, morning Marty,
oh yes, hello, Marty.
and so that's thanks for joining us for 2018's first episode. Thanks for coming along and standing in for
No worries,
Damien.
guys. Thanks for having me.
You're a lot more informative than he is.
Absolutely,
Yep.
he knows shit.
Yeah.
So until episode 44, I have been Greg.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Dave, not Damien.
See you later.
See ya.
See you.